The Sandhills, often written Sandhills, is a region of mixed grass prairie on grass-stabilized sand dunes in north-central Nebraska, covering just over 1/4 of the state. The dunes were designated a National Natural Landmark in 1984. The Sandhills are found in Arthur, Blaine, Brown, Cherry, Custer, Garden, Garfield, Grant, Holt, Hooker, Lincoln, Keith, Logan, Loup, McPherson, Morrill, Rock, Sheridan, Thomas, and Wheeler counties. The boundaries of the Sandhills are variously defined by different organizations. Depending on the definition, the region's area can be as small as 19,600 mi2 or as large as 23,600 mi2. Dunes in the Sandhills may exceed 330 feet in height. The average elevation of the region gradually increases from about 1,800 feet in the east to about 3,600 feet in the west. The Sandhills sit atop the massive Ogallala Aquifer. Thus both temporary and permanent shallow lakes are common in low-lying valleys between the grass-stabilized dunes prevalent in the Sandhills. The eastern and central sections of the region are drained by tributaries of the Loup River and the Niobrara River, while the western section is largely composed of small interior drainage basins. The Worldwide Fund for Nature designated the Sandhills as an ecoregion, distinct from other grasslands of the Great Plains. According to their assessment, as much as 85% of the ecoregion is intact natural habitat, the highest level in the Great Plains. This is chiefly due to the lack of crop production. Most of the Sandhills land has never been plowed. Paleoclimate proxy data and computer simulations reveal that the Nebraska Sandhills likely had active sand dunes as recently as the medieval warm period, when temperatures in the North Atlantic region were about 1 circumflex degree C warmer than the current climate. Much of the area was a scrub desert, with desert-like conditions extending to several other states. Current global warming may make the grassland climate more unstable, giving way to desert-given more fires, mild drought and erosion. Yucca simulations based on evapotranspiration support a Palmer drought index lower than -15, many times more severe than Texas during the Dust Bowl. The plant-anchored dunes of the Sandhills were long considered an irreclaimable desert. In the 1870s, cattlemen began to discover their potential as rangeland for longhorn cattle. The fragility of the sandy soil makes the area unsuitable for cultivation of crops. Unsuccessful attempts at farming were made in the region in the late 1870s and again around 1890. Some development of cropland agriculture in the modern era has occurred through the use of center-pivot irrigation systems. The 1904 Kincaid Act allowed homesteaders to claim 640 acres of land, rather than the 160 acres allowed by the 1862 Homestead Act. Nearly 9 million acres were successfully claimed by Kincaiders between 1910 and 1917. Some of the Kincaiders attempted to farm, but these attempts generally failed. This included Nebraska's largest black settlement, Dewey, which was located in southeast Cherry County until the 1930s. Many of the largest ranches broke up about the same time due to regulations against fencing federal range lands. Today, the Sandhills are a productive cattle ranching area, supporting over 530,000 beef cattle. The population of the region continues to decline as older generations die out, and as younger generations move to the cities. However, a number of small towns remain in the region. As the largest and most intricate wetland ecosystem in the United States, the Sandhills contain a large array of plant and animal life. Minimal crop production has led to limited land fragmentation. The resulting extensive and continuous habitat for plant and animal species has largely preserved the biodiversity of the area. The Sandhills are home to 314 vertebrate species including mule deer, white-tailed deer, coyotes, red fox, meadowlarks, wild turkeys, badgers, skunks, native bat species and many fish species.